What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
What's up, good people? BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcasts on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Back here at the Bossman Show, the new year here, one of our favorites on the show, UNCG Spartan Coach Mike Jones. Coach, good to see you, brother. How you doing over there in Greensboro, man?
Hey, man, we making it, man. We trying to stay warm here. It's cold spell down here in Greensboro, but otherwise we doing well.
I hear that, Coach. Man, I ask you, man, you had a big win over Furman this weekend, man, going 2-0 this weekend, 9-6 overall, man. So Coach Richard does a great job at Furman. So how key was it for you guys to get that big win against Furman, knowing the hell of a job that Coach Richard and his staff does down there and how they dominate the SoCon so many years down there over at Furman?
Yeah, it's always a tough game, man. And they, they have been the best team in our league this non-conference schedule. You know, they were 13-1 coming into our game. The only loss being to Kansas. So we knew it was going to be a tough matchup. But our guys were, really locked in. It helped us that we won our first game on the road at Wofford, who is also a tough team. So I think our guys felt good about themselves. They had a little bit of confidence. We played a really tough non-conference schedule, and I think that helped us as well. But, to come in and play well like that against Furman, man, it's never easy. So, we're very excited and appreciative that, our guys were ready to play.
And Coach Jones, you played a heck of a schedule yourself, going 7-6. Not you make some games as closer than you wanted to be. You could have went other ways, but about how important was the schedules, quality opponents, competing against SMU, competing against Indiana, those teams like that. Other teams that are major that are really good, competing with them, beating some of them as well. But to come in hardened with that toughness, so you can't compete against a Wofford where the White does a heck of a job, and where Coach just go to Furman, and you got Chattanooga, you got to go to Sanford this weekend. So how to get that toughness early from your guys playing tough opponents.
Yeah, if you play, to me, for us at least, and everybody does it different, but if you play a softer schedule, it might help you with confidence, but you don't know what it takes to really win against a good team. And so we played a lot of really good teams. And so some of those games we did not win. And those were great learning lessons for us to help us prepare for this league. You know, when you go into the league and you start on the road at Wofford, at Furman at home, on the road at Sanford and Chattanooga, I mean, it don't get much harder than that, you know. And so we knew coming into that we'd had to be ready. And so that non-conference schedule allows us to do that. And we'd love to be, 10-3 in the non-conference, but I'd rather us be better in the conference than in the non-conference because for us that's what it's all about. So those games definitely help prepare us for one of the toughest mid-major leagues in the country.
No doubt, Coach Jones, as you, I know, in practice, we can always drill late game scenarios, different scenarios, but having actually played it live with different uniforms, referees when it counts, it really helps you gain that experience and that callous towards it and hardening towards it. So, think about how important it was to get your guys in late game scenarios, live action. As you
Yeah.
this SoCon play was so important for you guys, but they had to experience it live. And I have doing it practice is great, but actually they go ahead and teach to it on film and say, hey, we did this better. We could have made this rebound, this block out. We could have won the game if we did it this way.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of guys that shoot better in practice than they do in the game. I want the ones that shoot good in the game. And the only way you can do that is to really have that game experience. And so practice, you can simulate as much as you can. You can go as hard as you want, but there's nothing like playing an opponent, in front of people with referees that, to really tell you who you are and what you're capable of doing. And so, that's what it's all about, to get ready for this league is to be able to play people that, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you could get beat. And if you do what you're supposed to do, that still doesn't mean you're going to win. You got to do it at a high level, execute at a high level. And so, our non-conference schedule this year was as tough as we've had in the 4 years that I've been here at UNCG. And I really think it's done us a good service to get ready for this league this year.
Diane, Coach, every year is a different team, man. And I tell my listeners all the time is, hey, each year is different. Each team is different. You can't always crawl back to, hey, last year, no, it's a different roster. They're different guys, different makeup, different vibe. Guys have matured, roles have changed. So think about the importance of guys who are returning, mixing in with your transfers coming in and become one cohesive unit, using this time in non-con and then workouts in the spring and summer to build that cohesion to figure out what you have. Get guys find into that role. So when the games start to count November, December, now January through March, say, hey, you're ready to go in the right direction.
Yeah, no question. It's a great benefit to have those guys come in the summer. Nowadays, it's really hard to finish your roster by the time summer school starts. We had one guy that we signed once school started. So you're talking about late August. So, but for the most part, we had our roster filled by the time summer school started in June. And so we were able to start to work and build that chemistry then. But it takes time. We're still not where we want to be. We've gotten a lot better in the last couple of weeks after Christmas. We've tightened our rotation a little bit, but we still are learning, what each other does best and how to play together. And hopefully, we'll continue to grow on that over the next few weeks as we head into the end of January, February, when is you really want to be, a cohesive team. And so we understand that we still got to work toward that. But I think our guys, because we got a head start back in June, are now starting to figure that part out.
No doubt. And like you said, also kind of point you earlier, Coach, you can look good in workouts and look good in simulated scrimmages, but until you get in that real game, you really know what a guy can do. And for you and your staff, seeing the guys actually in live action, how cool has it been to kind of figure out, kind of put that picture together and you and the staff as you watch film together, have meetings, okay, this guy can do this guy can do that. So for kind of seeing what you got in real time, how's it been for you and your staff, man, to get that discovery and that mindset, know, okay, I know what we got now on this team here.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, we feel a lot better than we did back in the fall. We had one of our key players, Malik Henry. He was injured in the summer and the fall, so we really didn't know what he could do until really the first game of the regular season. It was the first time that he was allowed to play on a limited minutes basis. So he's a big key to what we do because he's got size and athleticism at the 5 position for us. And so we had no idea, but now we've gotten a good picture of it, and he's a really key piece to what the success that we have, as well as we've had some injuries, that took a guy out for a week here, a week there, and so we never really had a full complement of players to practice every day until we got into the season. And so now that we're playing games, the guys that we got in the transfer portal are better than we thought, which is great. And then the guys that are returning, like you say, they know what we expect of them. And so they were able to help those guys get acclimated. And so now, like I say, we're starting to really figure it out together. And hopefully we'll continue to do that over the next, several weeks.
And coach, you had a week off between the 21st and the game is Virginia Lynchburg on the 28th. So talk about how important that break was to kind of self-scout, reevaluate some things you've been doing Tennessee-wise, rate some tendencies as well, and also kind of that you got to rest and recover to kind of get some of the energy guys up to speed, get on their bodies a little bit, rest so they can get this grind of conference play 2 games a week here coming up here the next 8 weeks or so.
Yeah, no, it was super important. I thought the guys were probably tired of me at that point. They needed a break from me as much as I needed a break to get my mind right as we head into the conference season. I think they needed a break of just recharging their minds, recharging their spirits to really compete at the level that we needed to. We got punched in the mouth by a couple of teams in the non-conference schedule, and so we needed to pick ourselves up off the mat and brush ourselves off and say, hey, we're going to be okay. And that break came at a perfect time. We were able to get back, see our families, spend some time, away from the game and really reassess the value of this game. And some of our guys were able to get healthy. But the biggest thing was mentally, refreshing mentally. And I thought our guys came back with a new sense of energy and excitement just toward being with each other on the team and playing this game that we love.
And coach, you got three top scorers now in Kenyon and Ronald and Donovan leading you get team in scores. Talk about how important those guys' contributions are and how they scored the ball. They're differently, but it works for the team you all have right now.
Yeah, I've always felt like whether you're playing biddy ball or middle school basketball or AAU or high school or college or pro, you got to have good guards. Good guards kind of run that show and they make it all happen. And so we're very fortunate. We had Donovan coming back from last year. We had Jorium Sazanu coming back from last year. We had Akram Ahmed coming back from last year. And we had Mason So. But adding Ron, who played 4 years at the Atlantic 10 level, and Kenyon, who played at Radford and was one of their top scoring guys, adding those two guys to the mix of those returners, man, has really helped us tremendously early in the year. And, I'm really, it makes my job a lot easier as a head coach to have, put 3 guys on the floor that know how to play. They're multi-skilled. They can guard. They are unselfish. So, it makes my job a lot easier.
And coach, you're doing a good job shooting from 37.9% from 3 as a team. So that spacing is very important. Guys can't just load up the pin against you guys. You have to really come out and contest, and you may get blown by as well. So talk about having that threat to the 3-point line, 37.9% from 3 as a team. So forcing teams to really defend and look at that hard, decide what they want to do against you defensively.
Yeah, you got to have it these days, man. You got to be able to space that floor. When you play teams that have 3 non-shooters on the floor, it's a little bit easier to guard them. You just got to focus on those 2 guys. But when you have 3 or 4 guys out there that can space it, now, your guards can get downhill. It's easier to see where the help is coming from and be able to make plays for each other. And so that's what we've been able to do because our guys, have worked really hard in the off season and even now during the season, every day after practice, those guys who are shooting at a high percentage, they don't just luck up and shoot at a high percentage. They're actually putting time in, getting extra shots before and after practice. So that work continues, and that's kind of who we are as a program. We have a work ethic here that leads to winning, and so those guys have, fit right in with that, and they're shooting the ball at a high level because they're putting the time in.
And coach, I got two more for you, coach. Man, you're valuing the ball as well, man. Since turnovers a game, because the ball is everything, especially live ball turnovers. You don't have no live ball turnovers at all. But I talk about valuing the basketball, taking care of the ball, saving the possessions, so you don't throw away possessions as other people get easy baskets on you. So talk about how the emphasis that you guys really stressed about to your team about valuing that basketball.
If you ain't got it, you can't shoot it. If you ain't shoot it, you can't win. So you got to hold on to that thing, man. We'll get tested in these next couple of games to really see how good our ball security is. But the guys have done a good job of not taking unnecessary risks. And making sure that we are getting the offense, that we get a shot every time down, and the quality of shots have really improved from the beginning of the year. And so that's been our formula the last few years. Take care of the ball, make sure you get a good, a shot, and then make sure you get a good shot. And then when that happens, you shoot good percentages and you score more points. And so that started to happen with us over these last couple of games. We've been able to score more because we value the ball and we're getting some quality shots because of our unselfishness and ability to find our teammates. So we've got to continue that formula against better and better defensive teams. And if we do that, then, we'll put ourselves in a good position.
No doubt. Last one for you, coach, man. For you, man. As you took that time away from the court, man. How'd you kind of decompress a little bit away from the court and that week you had off there, man, and kind of some time with you and your family, man?
Hey, man, I ate good, so put on a couple extra LBs. I stayed in my pajamas at least one day while we were off, so that feels good. You don't get to do that very often as a coach. And I think I watched a movie or two, man. So, yeah, I was able to refresh my mind, man, and kind of get my mind off of what it's focused on basically 24/7 now. And that helps all of us. We can't just stay on, one subject all the time. So I was able to get my mind off of this subject of basketball for a little bit and came back refreshed and renewed, man, ready to go at these next 2 months with a killer instinct.
No doubt. Coach Jones, I enjoy having you on the show, man. Y'all's been down with the show, man. So I appreciate you, Coach. Now, we cheering for you as always, my brother. I'll see you late point as always as well, too, Coach.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, boss, man. Good to see you, man. You stay warm out there wherever you are. And, man, good luck to you and the show and the rest of the season.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you always, my good brother.
All right, man.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, good people? BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. What's up, family? Jared the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Check The King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to The Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.